Shamanic initiation. Now this is the most advanced and deep work that I do in terms of the individual. The Universal Soul Retrieval Training is the most advanced work I do for those who want to help other people, and that really is where it's at. However, initiation can be a very important part of a human being's life journey, and initiation means that you choose to go through an experience which is going to take you outside of your comfort zones and cause you to maybe think and feel things which are not easy. So this is not for the faint-hearted. I want to stress that right from the word go. And I'm going to give you the old story about a traditional shamanic initiation, which is that the young student had been apprenticed to the shaman for quite some time and had learned all the wonderful things that he'd learned. At the end of his process, he'd organised a party, and the master was there, the shaman who taught him everything he learnt was there, and they just took a wander off towards the edge of the party to the riverbank. And at a certain point, the young apprentice is talking to his master, and the shaman just gives him a push. He just shoves him in the river. Now this is a dangerous, fast-flowing river that he's been pushed into, and he realises his life is at stake. He could die in that river, and this causes him to do something. It causes him to access a part of his training he'd never been able to access before, because he found himself struggling in the current of the river, risking drowning. At the same time, he became aware that an aspect of himself was running along the river bank, keeping pace with him on the way towards drowning in the river. And what happened is one aspect of himself literally reached out from the bank and grabbed the one that was in the river and brought him to safety and saved him. Now here's the point. He would not have been able to access that utterly magical state if he'd been left in the mundane world of work a day. He had to be pushed into something really extraordinary, something life-threatening in that particular case, and that brought out his ability to access his what we call bilocation. That's it. He literally manifested his ability, which he knew he had in theory, to bilocate and to be in two places at once, and for one part of himself to save the other part of himself. Now, on the initiation, I'm not going to be offering, no one's going to be pushed into any river. Let's be really clear about that. However, in this initiation, I will be taking you into places that you will very likely to feel outside of your comfort zones, and this is deliberately part of the process. So you do need to be aware that that's part of the process, is to go outside the comfort zones, and by so doing you will discover aspects of yourself which are really magical and a revelation to you, and you will come out of that retreat experience so much stronger than when you went in. Now I want to add a bit of science to this, because it's very important to know that the reason why this retreat is actually a 10-day retreat is because in 10 days you can completely restore and revitalize the blood plasma in your body, which means your entire bloodstream at the end of the retreat, because of the special diet that you'll be eating and all the practices with the breathing and going outside into wild nature, in which there'll be plenty, is going to put your blood plasma into a state of total detox and total vitality. So that's a really powerful thing to do. And just to add to the story, so you know this, it takes 90 days to completely replace all your blood cells in your body. So 10 days to replace the blood liquid, 90 days to replace all the blood cells, and the final figure to give you is 7 years. 7 years from beginning a good diet, you end up with every single cell of your body completely replaced. So people who are serious about improving the quality of their health, that's actually how long it takes to completely remake you as a new human being. So 10 days you get a great result, 90 days you get a great result, and 7 years you're literally not the person that you were. Now if you are really thoughtful, this might produce a thought or a question in you, which is, well, if this is the case, how come a person can have an illness, and bearing in mind within 7 years you completely replace your entire being, how can that person maintain the illness? And the answer is they only do so because they're still carrying the programming of replicating that illness in their body. And that takes us to the point of realization that one of the things about illnesses, although they're very unpleasant and cause much suffering, they actually do happen for a reason, which is to cause us to change the way that we are. And that's what it's all about. So that's what illnesses do. They give us a gift to transform ourselves rather like my parasitic infection has brought about my awareness of the great importance of diet and what I eat, even more so than I was before. So to go into a bit more specifics, there are going to be a number of the features of the shamanic adventures which will be incorporated, because there's a lot of shamanic journeying work, understanding shamanic cosmology, working with the breath and working with the rhythm of the drum beat. And in addition to that, there's going to be the diet, and doing the diet for 10 days is going to literally restore your blood plasma to optimal conditions. The diet will be based largely around plants. I'll be making much more use of raw food, and of course the wheatgrass shots will be part of this too, for really revitalising your entire system. As well as all that, there's going to be a substantial amount of time spent in wild nature, and particularly working with the elements. We'll do work with the spirit of the fire, and we'll have a special shamanic process to let go of things you need to let go of, very important for deep work. We'll also have special work to do with the water, which will include the possibility to become completely immersed in wild water. And all the people in the Plants Medicine Retreat that had the guts to do this have only said the same thing. Ooh, it was so horrible when I started to go in, and now I feel great, I feel wonderful, I feel totally revitalised, so there'll be opportunities for that. There's going to be so many other things which I won't go into detail, because part of the idea about initially actually exposed to things of a surprising and unexpected nature, so that's going to be part of it too. So I'll leave those for the actual retreat itself. So I just thought I'd add that as well. But from your point of view, from the 10-day retreat, you will leave the retreat feeling different from you've ever felt before. So if this is for you, and believe me, it's not for the faint-hearted, you're most welcome to email me and ask me for further details. Thank you very much.